I'd like to clear here now is, if you were to ask the vast Muslim world, who was the first Muslim? A lot of them will come forward and say that the first Khalifa was the first Muslim. And unfortunately, if you go to Pakistan and you look at the syllabus for Islamiyat, even within the Islamiyat books and the curriculum, they teach this to the children, irrespective of their sect. That the first Khalifa was the first Muslim. Now, forget everything else. Let's just look at this logically and historically, and I'll prove to you. It wasn't the first. There were 50 more Muslims before him. Yet, the books will tell you he was the first. However, think about this. Now, the Prophet is declaring the message. Allah says, Ya Rasulullah, invite your nearest of kin. Warn your family. In the Quran, Allah says, warn your family. So Rasulullah then says what? He says, Ya Ali, I want you to prepare food. And I want you to call all the sons of Abdul Muttalib, meaning the Prophet, all of his uncles. And I want you to call them to the house and tell them there is food in the house of Abu Talib. You want people to gather and come. Just tell them there's food. So the uncles of the Prophet all came. They sat down, and we're all very familiar with the story, so I'll brush past it. Rasulullah sits down, everybody eats, he stands up, he says, I have a message to tell you. Abu Lahab at that moment stands up, interrupts the Prophet, and everybody moves. Then Rasulullah says, Ya Ali, tell them, Kal fir khana. They'll come. They came again, same thing. Rasulullah stood up, he tried to speak. Abu Lahab interrupted the Prophet, left. On the third day, when Rasulullah stood up and he was about to declare something, as Abu Lahab was about to interrupt, Abu Talib stood up. He says to Abu Lahab, sit down. Let my nephew talk. If he was a kafir, why would he let him talk? He knows what he's going to say. So he's allowing him to say it. However, Rasulullah then says, I am a prophet of God. I have been sent, just as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent books in the past, to prophets such as Nabi Musa, Nabi Isa, Nabi Dawood, the three holy scriptures. I am the fourth. And after all the prophets, I'm the last prophet. Now here the prophet says something. He says, which one from amongst you will be the first to testify that I am a prophet of Allah? I will make him my successor. So forget Ghadir Khum and all these other incidences where Rasulullah had elected his successor. This is day one of public Islam. And already the Prophet is saying, whoever will testify to my nabuwwat, I will testify to his successorship. Where was Abu Bakr during this event? He hadn't even accepted Islam yet. So if you're going to go around telling people that he was the first Muslim, then it becomes problematic even if you look at it in the field of academia. Because the Prophet is inviting people in the house of Abu Talib towards the religion of Islam. And at that moment, if anybody stands up and testifies to the risalat of the Prophet, that means he is the first Muslim. Yet Abu Bakr wasn't even there. So there's no way he can be the first Muslim.